Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF, bringing you episode 107 of Let's Play Starfield. Just going to hit my water bottle here, guys. Bear with me. Hope you guys are doing well and ready and excited to check out some more Starfield with me. We're still in Aquila. We've been here for quite a few episodes now. No sign of leaving anytime soon. So we're making the best of it. I mean, we could leave, of course, but it's a very fascinating place to explore. We're going to continue doing that today, so let's see what's over in this direction where these sensors are located. Let's see.
Insurance is where they get you.
You've got a point there.
Got an enhance, got the co-heritage. Come up here, we have the, this is where the, what is it again? Sanctum Universum is. Whoa. Bunch of triangles. Alright, we're down this way. I guess we're in Midtown.
Give me your honest opinion.
For sale.
I can make it easy.
Ah, here's that bookstore. There's the Stone Root Inn. Very cool. Let's head in the bookstore. That rug. I can almost smell this bookstore as we walk
If you
in.
want to purchase anything, just let me know. Or if you have any rare finds.
Oh, I do have rare finds.
Feel free to read. This is a haven for all that love letters.
Do you run the store by yourself?
Yes, I had a husband, but he's no longer with us.
Aw.
We loved to travel, and always we'd be looking for rare books. Most of what you see here are mementos. It's sometimes hard to sell, but books are not meant to be hoarded. They're meant to be shared and spark something in us.
Right. You really love books, don't you?
Movies, slates, theater, all have their appeal. But books, you can get a window to mankind in its earliest days. Whether
Indeed.
adventure with Homer, or the actual thoughts of Julius Caesar penned in his own hands. And they offer visions of the future and wonderfully impossible things and might-have-beens.
True.
So, yeah, I do like books.
They're very cool. Are there any books you're looking for?
I am a bit of an aficionado of old Earth novels.
Hmm.
Well, truth be told, it's more of an obsession. Reading their stories is a revelation, not only for, the pure imagination, but the window you get into long-gone historical eras.
Right.
I'll pay handsomely for any books you find like that.
Aha.
Except Charles Dickens. Definitely not Charles Dickens.
Oh. What's wrong with Charles Dickens?
Oh, nothing wrong at all. When colonists were forced to leave Earth for good, cargo space was precious, and for some reason everyone thought to bring their Charles Dickens collection. No, I mean he was an amazing writer. His stories are timeless, but what I'd give for a copy of Sense and Sensibility, or the Three Musketeers, oh! The original Three Musketeers, mind you, not the dozens of interpretations of it.
Oh, so I might have sold some originals. I feel the same way about a good book.
Who doesn't?
Okay, let me go to my cargo
I hope
hold.
you come back.
I will be right back. Because I do have rare books. I know I sold some that are probably... I don't know which ones are Charles Dickens. I know I sold some that may have been originals and worth money and stuff. I don't think I kept all books, but those are some of the books I have. Alright, let's talk to her again.
If you ever find an old Earth printing of City of God, I have been looking for it for ages.
If I have any books for your old Earth collection, I'll sell them to you.
Oh my goodness, is that Dracula? The original story. I simply must have this. Oh, thank you.
2,000 credits. Okay, I have more, maybe?
What's this? History of pirates? I've never even...
Oh, that's one of them?
My goodness, the original source for Blackbeard! This is amazing! Here.
Oh, so there's books I didn't even know were rare. I didn't know that was a rare one. I was keeping that because of... I wanted to read it myself.
Oh, Moby Dick! I had 2 copies. I foolishly sold both. I'm happy to have it returned to my collection.
Wow.
Thank you.
Another 2,000. Any more?
Oh. I'm afraid there's nothing you have that I don't already have. Sorry.
Darn, let me see what's for sale.
Let's see.
Dang, I knew I had some that I shouldn't have sold. Well, she's got like Crimson Cabin and stuff. Charity in a Godless Universe. I don't see too many here that Jake and the Inu. I'm trying to think of any I would have had that I got rid of. The Ancient Civilization of Egypt. Let me grab that. Curious. And let me go ahead and just sell her. I wanted to read The Greater End, Among the Grab Jumps. I wanted to read that. Let's go by mass here. Jake and the Inu Part 2. I'm going to read the Sanctum Universum. Might as well give her the other copy of Dracula. Oh, she has Frankenstein, huh? Let's see. 102, Maurice Lyon's Journal. 4 more Moby Dicks. The Origin of Species she didn't want. Prince. They're only worth 1. Those are weird. I'm going to hang on to the Prince novels for some reason. Let's look at Egypt and those other books. So we made some nice credits here. Visit the Cairo landmark on Earth. Oh my gosh. I knew that book was going to do something. Wow. Where is that book? What was it called? Signature. When the ancient world was young, the civilization of Egypt was already old. The pyramids of Giza still tower over Cairo, and awed Roman legionaries and Napoleon soldiers as much as any modern visitor. But it was more than a tourist destination. The fertile Nile was a key breadbasket and valuable source of revenue for thousands of years. Its influence on the Mediterranean was and is profound. Using the latest technology... One second, guys. Alright. Using the latest technology, we have new insights and glimpses into the rise of ancient Egypt and how its society changed over the many years. So come with us on a trip through the land of pharaohs and pyramids. So starts a definitive work of the history of Egypt by a collection of unknown archaeologists and anthropologists, published in 2133. Okay, let's sell that. And what is the Prince book? We have 2 of them. Number of pages have been ripped out of the book. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. We still have those list things. Sanctum Universum. Let's organize these by mass. Okay, we've got a Greater End. Well, we don't have all 3 of these yet, so I'm not going to read them. Among the Grab Jumps. Among the Grab Jumps, God seeks you. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? Any common attribute invites comparison to some more pure form of it, and as we work our way up the tree of attributes, from apples to red to color to waveforms to energy to space-time to existence, we find fewer and fewer branches to explore. All of reality eventually converges into a single point. Some call it Omega, others Telos, some call it God, but its true nature is best understood in another way. For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. To say that it exists is effectively redundant, as it is in fact existence itself. Oh, this is cool. Our being derives from being. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind, but what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. Most urgently, this being, which gave rise to reality itself, seeks to understand its consequence, by which I mean you and me. Our senses are limited and only able to perceive 3 dimensions, as we are helplessly flung along the 4th in a single direction, but our finest minds tell us that the universe has at least 12 dimensions, and who knows what further knowledge may be revealed in time. From our meager capacity, the universe is not simply unexplored, but fully unknowable in any comprehensive sense. And so we rely on revelation. We submit ourselves to direct communion with the one source of truth. For truth is another of its attributes, even as all the separate aspects resolve into simplicity. To know the truth, we must know the truth, and that truth wishes to know us as well. Our physical embodiments are limited to movement in 3 dimensions, just as fabric is bound to and defined by its warp and weft. But we have a power that raises us above the unminded matter that merely exists without will. We can bend the fabric of space-time, rending warp from weft, peering through the veil that we may otherwise mistake for all that there is. When we do so, by jumping from point to point, we are not merely moving in space, but becoming voyagers into a new level of understanding. Those moments between grab jumps are not simply nothingness, but glimpses into understanding of the mystery that underlies all reality. To know that truth is to become closer to the divine ourselves. This is the purpose of our lives. The purpose of the Sanctum Universum is to guide you in these experiences, so each opportunity to know is not squandered. Seek out Aquilus. Let him open your heart to the understanding that is no different from your mind, and join us as we seek further communion and increase our sharing in the nature of the divine. Well, that is very cool. There's some truth to that book there. Sanctum Universum. We don't have volume 1 of this. She does. But we'll read this one. Sanctum Universum, volume 1. A Spiritual Guide for After the World's End by Keeper Aquilus of the Sanctum Universum, volume 1. All people by nature desire to know. This is the maxim of the philosopher, the start of our most ancient discourse, and the continuing truth that unites humanity's current diaspora to its cradle around the yellow sun. The death of Earth may be cause for wistful reflection. Its time as the center of humanity recedes ever further into the past, and living generations find it so removed from their existence as to amount to nothing more than historical trivia. Our technology and culture advance to forms that would be scarcely recognizable as human to even our recent forebears, and yet we still identify as part of the same lineage that first tamed fires and noticed that certain of the lesser heavenly lights seem to move in patterns. This taming and noticing, the vital combination of act and reflection, is what separates us from all other beings we have yet encountered. This is the foregone essence of humankind. All people desire to know. The subjects of that knowledge may vary across different cultures, epochs, and individual proclivities, but the need to know, to draw existing knowledge into new combinations and to expand what exists is ever present. Even the simplest of us seeks to know their neighbor or themselves or their work. The more ambitious intellects may seek to know the truth of galactic superstructures or the social origins of modernity. That pursuit invites us as a single race more than any biological coincidence or historical lineage can. Not all knowledge is of the intellect, however, and different principled approaches may yield their subsequently different conclusions or qualities or understanding altogether. Here is where the first serious objections may be raised, particularly as the disciples of scientism begin the inhale of their great collective bellows so as to put forth pure empiricism as the only valid means of knowledge. I do not wish to dampen their enthusiasm, nor do I deny the great benefits that have been found through that approach. Some of our earliest recorded disputes in the history of thought stem from whether reason or experience is the right path to knowledge. Our senses may be easily deceived, so we are forced to confront the possibility that they are always so. Our minds can be addled by decrepitude or confused by ideologies, making them no more trustworthy. To assign a place of privilege to either reason or experience is itself a curatorial act, which exists as part of a long philosophical tradition, whether the chooser knows so or not. All of this is to bring me around to my greater point, that of faith. I speak not here of supernatural belief itself, though I will shortly come to it. Rather, faith is the acceptance of a truth that has been given from another, whether the other came to it by reason or experience, whether the other is one superior or inferior, whether the truth is a factual or qualitative one, does not matter. By incorporating a truth into one's knowledge without having arrived at it by individual means, a person is committing an act of faith. Faith takes many forms that may be unexpected. The most passionate science chauvinist may believe in the existence of atoms, even though such things cannot be observed directly. They believe in them out of a trust in sound evidence and mathematical proofs, but even then, have they themselves seen the evidence? Have they themselves performed the mathematics? At some point in their epistemological journey towards greater knowing, they have, with near certainty, accepted some truth on faith. That faith may be in their teachers, in their texts, in the process of peer review, in the very existence of causality, but faith it remains. Which brings me then to the question of supernatural belief, particularly the ways such beliefs manifested in human religions over the course of our history. In these matters, both believers and unbelievers are quite willing to say that the method of knowing is faith. That reason may also be applied to these same matters is unsurprising, particularly in light of the original maxim which opened this text. Many a towering intellect has turned the full force of its powers to questions of faith, and these inquiries may prove to be enlightening exercises, regardless of the reader's own commitments. There is, though, a point of departure, for at the core, the very foundation of their thought, there is an assumption of the existence of something that these thinkers choose to label as God. Fascinating. Volume 2. The concept that such philosophers label as God is not necessarily that of any particular faith tradition. There is a noble attempt with varied levels of success to separate the doctrinal tenets of their lived religion from the philosophical projects they undertook. Their philosophical reasoning differs from that of a non-believer merely in that they are willing to allow for the possibility of existence of something labeled as God. However, none of them set out to prove such an existence, since that question is itself the exemplar of non-falsifiability. The question of the existence of something that might be considered God is outside the realm of reason. However, once a person has come to accept either belief or non-belief as a truth via some act of faith, then reason can subsequently be employed to continue a discourse with that axiom. So what do we mean then when we are to speak of something labeled God? You may note that I have not yet called this something directly, and have never used the more traditional label without the deployment of quotation marks. This is to intentionally set distance between whatever associations a reader may have with the concept. All the bundles of traditions and dogmas and doctrines and persecutions and violence and mania can all be set aside for the moment. I need you to forget everything you think you know about something that people might label as God. Clear your mind to the tabula rasa. As best you are able, we proceed from here. Now, from this blankness, esteemed philosophers have derived notions of the self, or time and space, as the singular foundation for understanding reality. I do not need to recapitulate their ideas here. I trust a well-equipped data terminal may bestow upon you the gifts of the meditator and the imperator in this matter. Whatever sort of epistemological framework you choose to adopt, let us assume that you have agreed to some notion of the self and some notion of reality, even if you don't agree that the one can actually perceive the other. And here the truest existential nihilists, who wish to deny even reality itself, may exit the car. Recall our prime maxim that all people by nature desire to know, and so from this blankness we ask questions. Who are my parents? What is justice? Why do stars twinkle? Should I pursue a romantic relationship? All of these inquiries are ways of knowing and ways of thinking and ways of acting, and underlying all of it is the reality that we share, for ultimately all questions eventually become some sort of why. Why did my parents abandon me? Why was this injustice committed? Why was I rejected? And whys have a way of coalescing towards a unified point. Your parents abandoned you because of their addictions, which came from their hardships, which came from their unjust society, which was formed out of scarcity, which is a consequence of mineral distribution on the planet, which derives from the relative weights of various elements in a molten protoplanet, which is correlated with their atomic mass, which relates to the interaction of subatomic particles, which, and so proceed ad infinitum, but not quite, because ultimately there is an epistemic barrier beyond which we can no longer ask why. Why do subatomic particles act the way they do? Because of quantum strings. Why do they act the way they do? Because of the laws of mathematics and physics. Why are those laws what they are? What is causality? Why does causality exist? Why does anything exist at all? That the chain of questions continues toward this asymptote cannot be denied. The staunchest unbeliever may be quite wary that the line of questioning is approaching realms that science can no longer address, but still they cannot deny the question itself. They may only assert that they do not care about the answer. These questions exist to their conclusion, though, whether or not we choose to concede defeat earlier in the sequence. Oh, this is awesome, actually. Hope you guys are enjoying. So we face the question of why there is even a reality to contemplate and find the tools of our minds lacking. There is unquestionably a mystery underlying all reality, and I do not speak of mystery in the sense of a puzzle that we cannot solve or a murder that cannot be attributed. Rather, I speak of mystery, the proper noun, something so remote that it is not simply unknown, but unknowable. Such mysteries can also appear in a more mundane context, such as the attempts to answer the question of who are you without giving the more simple answers of your name, your occupation, your ethnicity, etc. The mystery I speak of that underlies all reality is unknowable to the same extent that you and I are unknowable, not because it is so distant, though it is, but because it is also so close. Transcendence and immanence come to a paradoxical unity in a concept that our minds can barely comprehend the proper shape of its question. Wow. So then, the mystery that underlies all reality is the very same thing that many in our past and present choose to label as God. I myself will not use such a label out of both respect and caution about its traditional usage, but let us acknowledge that we are speaking of the same thing. What function does this concept have in a hostile universe? This is why I asked you to discard all your previous notions tied to the mystery, because there tends to be an assumption of benevolence or care associated therein. Already that is skipping many steps, as it ascribes a selfhood to the mystery, which is a prerequisite for intent, which is a prerequisite for will, which is needed before any ideas of agency can be questioned. A great deal of intellectual work remains to prove these concepts, and we will arrive to them in time. But for now, avoid thinking of the mystery as anything other than the unknowable thing that underlies reality, the ground of being, the very cause of existence itself. That is far more interesting and far more fruitful a starting place than any Sky King creators of ages past. This form of mystery becomes our new frontier of knowing. The acts and reflections that unite us to our ancestors continue in our new milieu, but we are forced by circumstance to reconsider all truths from the very first principles. For those who wish to embark on the crucial philosophical voyage of this chapter of humanity, I open my mind and provide these writings as guides and signposts. Seek me out or seek my words, it makes no difference to those who wish to know the truth, for indeed all people by nature desire to know. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Definitely some actual truth in there, in my opinion. Jake and the Inu, A Tale of Enlightenment. Oh, that sounds fun. We'll sell among the grav jumps, we'll sell 3 sanctums, and we'll stick those in our cargo. Fascinating stuff, man. The writing in this game is really fantastic, actually. We'll put that in there, that in there. We'll sell among the grab jumps. Okay, we'll put grab part 2 of that. We'll sell these, put the prints back in there. Sell. Alright. Little book reading episode.
My husband. I think he would have liked what I've done here. He so loved books.
Oh.
Take your time.
Alright, from her we'll buy... we'll sell among the grab jumps. Oop. And we'll sell the Sanctum Universums in Egypt. Sell from Frontier. Greater in Volume 1, Volume 3. They have Charity. Oh, those are books for the opposite of the Sanctum Universum, the House of Enlightenment or whatever. Charity in a Godless Universe. That's what those are. We can read those at some point too. Let's grab Jake and the Enu Part 1. See if there's anything else here we want to check out that we haven't yet. Not much. We've read all these. I could buy the 4 charities, but I don't want to do that much reading right now. You know what though? While we're here, let's go ahead and buy them. We'll stuff them in the Frontier. But these should be pretty simple reads and quick. Jake and the Enu. Tale of Enlightenment Part 1. Since he was a boy, Jake's family had protected the Enu, the ancient creatures who brought life to his mountain. Each day, Jake would enter their cave and clean the stone statues that connected the Enu to this world. He kept their location secret and shielded the Enu from the greedy men who lived in the valley of the mountain. Jake was always kind to his wife and sons so that he could tell the Enu of his good deeds. The Enu rewarded Jake's devotion by bringing his family the life-giving stream. Each spring it would flow from the mouth of their cave and bless his fields with a bountiful harvest. This blessing had only grown stronger each year. Jake's farmland was so prosperous that it covered the mountain and was seen by those in the valley. One day, 2 men visited Jake's farm. "Let us buy your grains and your fruits," they said, "for none will grow beyond the mountain." But Jake turned them away. "The valley has run dry, and surely you could make do with less." But the men's coins were of no use to Jake, for he received all that he needed from the Enu. One night, Jake woke to sounds coming from the Enu's cave. He raced to the entrance, only to find the cave filled with men from the valley. Each one held an Enu statue and was carrying it down from the mountain. Jake cried for them to stop, but one man held him at the mouth of the cave. "The lands of the valley are dying," he said. "These spirits can bring us water, but you have kept them all to yourself. We will leave what you have already grown, but we are taking the Enu to the valley." Part 2. Jake cursed and pleaded with the thieves, but it was no use. Soon every Enu was removed from the cave. Jake wept. What would become of the mountain? He continued visiting the cave each day. He cleaned the floors where the Enu had stood and recited his good deeds to the walls. Jake dreaded the spring. Without the gift of the Enu stream, what would become of his fields? Then in the spring, the stream flowed from the cave anyway. Jake was confused, but his family wasted no time. They cultivated their fields, and that summer they saw their most bountiful harvest in years. The following spring, the stream appeared again. Jake began to wonder, were more Enu hiding in the cave? He waded into the stream and traveled beyond the Enu's cavern, much further than he had before. But instead of more Enu, Jake found a large underground lake. He also found tunnels bringing fresh water into the cave from the rainy side of the mountain. Later that day, Jake traveled down to the village in the valley. He found its people desperate and their lands parched. Jake visited the farms of the village. He found an Enu statue placed in each one, but he could see that the rocky, dry land would never grow fruit. That evening, Jake returned to his wife and shared what he had seen. They spent all night looking down on the valley. In the morning, they called for their sons, and the family harvested their fields. They packed half of all they had grown in large wooden carts. The next day, Jake stood at the mouth of the Inu's cave. He turned and joined his family as they traveled down the mountain. I don't know if there's a part 3 to that. But we'll go ahead, just in case, and, actually, I'm going to stuff these 4 in there for now. We'll read them some other time. And we'll sell Jake and the Inu. It's pretty interesting. Love it, actually.
So many books to read and so little time. Happily.
Do we need these top of the list still? I guess so. Alrighty. Nice to meet you, Anjong. Now let me see what you got first. There's a book. Permanently reload and draw Laredo weapons 5% faster. Gunslinger's Guide 02. That's what we've been looking for. Research lab. Don't need it right now.
Feel free to read. This is a haven for all that love letters.
All that love letters. And John's Sinclair book idea. Write what you know. What about a bookseller that solves a variety of crimes with her knowledge of ancient works? Think like Sherlock Holmes except for anything literary. Maybe any news? Perhaps with a rival turned partner in Aquila City Security? Just need to think endings. If you nail the mystery ending, then everything's in great shape. Rosebud from Citizen Kane? Who was where in Paradise Lost? So much Dickens out there, so maybe tie in with one of those books. Cool. And we've got... Wow. They go through a lot of Terra Brew. Terra Brew machine, filter timer, steam. Yeah. Go through some Terra Brew here. But it's been a while since I read a book actually. Last time I was reading Lord of the Rings. And the Silmarillion as well. But anyway, guys, that's the bookstore. Very fun. Let's head out of here now and see what else is over in this neck of the woods. Stone Root Inn. That's interesting. What's up here, actually? Something here? Langston Manor. Fiber. I don't know why we'd go into Langston Manor except to just do some thieving, which I don't feel like doing right now. Where we place those sensors is quite far away. Oh, I don't see anything around here. Trying to just suss out where we are in town. Lance Estate, it's locked. Okay, there's the rock to my right. This is
I'm the best realtor in town, if I don't say so myself.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Tate. And
oh, Mr. Tate.
You have the look of a newcomer.
I've heard of you.
Welcome to Aquila City. I don't suppose you're in the market for real estate. If so, then look no further.
Huh. So you just accost every passerby about your properties?
No, certainly not. But you have the air of someone with means. And these properties are a real bargain, I assure you.
I don't know about buying a house.
It doesn't hurt to hear about them, though, right?
Right.
I have 2 properties for sale. This one here is a refurbished colonial manor in the heart of the core. I also have a more modest one-bedroom in Midtown. Any interest in them?
Tell me about the core manor.
It's my favorite listing I've had in years. Spacious in the core itself. I took great pains to get all the approvals, so the neighbors should be no problem. It's historic and spacious. Oh my, so much space. And the price is a veritable bargain.
78,000 credits. Not interested.
I can't say I'm surprised. As rare as properties like this are, rarer still is the buyer who can afford it. But you do take care.
Wait, tell me about the Midtown house.
If you are ever looking to buy property, remember me, Mr. Tate.
Tell me about the Midtown home.
It's an unfurnished one-bedroom, lots of space. It's a very convenient location, just a block or so from Co Plaza. Are you interested?
45,000. Not at this time.
A shame. Well, if you change your mind, just let me know.
I mean, we could buy it. It wouldn't hurt. There's the rock. Here we have, well, whatever's over here. Whoa. Walls of the city. Well, the second wall or third wall or whatever. So, should I buy one? This is the core manor, right? Yeah. 75,000. Probably has a lot of places we can store our stuff. But I don't have so much stuff right now that I just need to store it somewhere. Oh. Let's head back down in then. Ooh. Base, but people are standing around. It's just a place for people to stay. Fiber. Pestle. Order a pestle. Succulents. I don't really want mortar and pestle. Keep looking though. This place is huge. There's the stretch. We've already been down there, Aggies and stuff. So let's head back to here, Midtown. There's Ajong. The Stone Root Inn, we haven't been in there. Let's try to get in there somehow. There we go. Very cool.
You should try Philburn's beer. It's brewed in the city and it ain't bad.
Damage control specialists.
Just let me drink in peace.
Just need to find a time. I was thinking neon.
We got a lot of bars in the
They're
city.
barely
all
a part of the
class
Freestar
joints.
Collective.
Well, except
So we're
Aggies.
getting political now?
Yes, well, Hopetown's not that different from Aquila. Hard workers, and everyone making their own way. But neon?
It could be so much fun. They say everything's legal on Neon.
Huh.
We'll talk about it.
Yes?
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture. You do yourself a disservice if you don't stay here at least once. My mother always said that the secret to happiness is to learn to love where you are. She was a wise woman.
Sounds like there's a lot of history here.
There certainly is. My family's owned and operated this place going back generations. Why, the Stone Root's been around so long, it's even older than Midtown, and that's saying something.
Wow.
Aquila City folk value legacy and tradition deeply, and by running this, I get to be part of that.
I need a room.
We usually have at least one free. Today's no exception. You looking for just one day or more?
One day.
Sure thing, honey.
Okay.
Eloise keeps this place running, and I guess I keep her running. Or at least I keep her sane.
The city loves their vases. There's something else here, like... Oh, it was that pear.
This place has been in my family for generations. Feels like home.
Yes.
Eloise can hook you up with a drink or a room.
I try and
I
give
just
a
help out
crowd
around
or
the
two
place.
to the low house when I'm able.
Yeah, there's still a lot that we have to explore, but... Wow. I feel bad taking all this. Suddenly I feel bad. There's a membrane. Sam's here with me. So there's some credits here, but the membrane. Right, I'm just gonna move along. Back here. Oh. Oh my. Is this my room? No, I don't think it is. Well, the bed is owned. Board games, slippers. Yeah, I don't think I want to take anything. So easy to, though. Alright, my room is upstairs, I guess. Anyone else in here? Phil Hill. I have no business with him yet, though. Still didn't survey a habitable planet. Technically I did, but technically I didn't. However you want to technicalize that. Alright, here's our room. Wow. Huh. War of the Worlds. Guess we could sleep in the bed for a few hours. Get a well-rested perk. No, we'll just sleep for like 5 hours. Got the room, might as well use it. I am going to,
Alright, let's get back to it.
Hey, get your own room, Sam. Could take this stuff. Meh. I'm gonna start controlling myself a little bit more, I think. We'll see. Damage control specialist, that's what I'm doing. Damage control. All my stealing. Aldwin's workshop. That's different. Citizen. There's Aldwin.
Robots are a force amplifier for farm production. One day we'll crack sophisticated AI. Only a matter of time.
Right? We have an industrial workbench. Let's see if we can craft anything on this. Well, we have 62 beryllium. Time to stop buying it. Okay. Nothing to craft.
Spending time in hard G is a good workout. I don't need to like it, though.
Let's work out. RG. Alright, he's got a shop that we can't go in. A desktop soilable. An industrial workbench. Okay. Alright, so the stretch is that way, the core is that way, Eastgate that way. Let's go towards these
I like the Terrorbird uniforms so much. I might actually become a barista just to wear one.
Good for you.
Oh, what do we have here? Oh, the bookstore. What am I thinking? Let's go place these sensors, I guess. They're down here in the stretch, it looks like. Okay, first one right here. And all throughout here.
Hopefully, not some use.
And one in the Alien Extravaganza, or close to it anyway. Oh. There we go. Talk to Keone. Oh, the dad is still over there, looks like. Community center, we can't go in. Heard some xenopredators can mimic other organisms to catch their prey. If I hear, I swear if I hear, I'm on another planet, I hear my own voice talking to me. Wow, that is trippy. I would freak out too. Do we need this? No, that's industrial too. I thought it was a spacesuit. Okay, so let's go talk to. Alright, let's see how long we've been playing. It's probably an entire episode worth. Yep. And then some. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Time just flies so quickly. It seems that I just started the episode, but not quite. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider hitting the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification icon, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think.
They're making so they can find each other in large flocks.
So, but no pressure, guys, on doing that. It's all good. Do what you would like to do. But I do hope to see you guys next time. Feel free to come back for more as we're going to continue exploring all that for a Starlock game. Continue exploring Aquila City. Should be a lot of fun, so I hope to see you guys then. Until then, guys, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy. And yeah, we'll talk to her next time. We'll start doing a little bit of questing. Lots of fun. So hope to see you then. Bye-bye now.